Hey there, it's Jenny McGarvey, and I am here today to share with you how I planned in my memory planner. I recently subscribed to the Heidi Swap Stop the Blur kit. It is a monthly subscription, and I thought that it might be fun to try out and play with in my memory planner each month. I'm just flipping through. I think this is the January kit. It's hard for me to keep track of that, but I believe it's the January kit. And it has these fun little like tags that pull in and out, and then a little pad of tags that you can write on, and then a stamp set and some other goodies. As you can see, I have printed my photos right here. There's 8 of them on one 4x6 photo. I also have one 2x3 that I previously printed out that I will add to this as well. So I'm just using my paper trimmer to cut these down to size and cut them apart, and then we will go ahead and start laying them on the page. First, I had this idea that it might be fun to put one of these photos on the little cards that slip in and out because they're so cute. And so I took this one that says Fresh Start, and I put a photo of my dog on the back of it because since this wasn't a layout about January or anything like that, I didn't really need Fresh Start. So I thought it would be cool to just put the little photo of my dog in there. I actually really like these tags so much. It's a little pad and it's super, super cute. So I'm going to adhere it down in the top left-hand corner, and then I will layer the photo right on top of it. It's just the cutest little picture, and it looks so good there. Now I'm just going to go ahead and lay out all of my photos. I feel so much more comfortable now that I'm printing these a little bit smaller. Like I said, there are 8 to the 4x6, so it's approximately 2 by 1.5. Again, give or take a little bit based on the fact that digital prints aren't true 4x6, but so I love it, and it's really working out so well for me. I'm kind of wanting to put another one of the tags down, but then I remember that there is a tag stamp, and I love to stamp, so I'm thinking about adding that to the page instead. But first, I'm going to go ahead and adhere all the photos down. I love the size of these photos because the memory planner, the columns are 2 inches wide. So there's a little bit of room on each side should I place them in the center, the photos in the center. And I just think that's really kind of cool. I like it. And then if I don't want to place them in the center, if I want to have them further on one side or the other, it also looks really cool. So I think it's very neat. All right, so these stamps are acrylic and made in China, so that they're a little bit more difficult to get off the page, and they're a little bit more difficult to use in that they do not give the cleanest impression. So I will make sure to prime them every time by rubbing them on the back of my hand, just because the oils definitely help prime the stamps. And I do it with photopolymer stamps too, but it's still definitely not as necessary as acrylic stamps. You must do it with acrylic stamps. So now I'm flipping through these little tags, and I don't ordinarily use these type of things, but they're really cute, and I thought I would give them a go on this photo of the rainbow because there's a little phrase on the stamp set that says this is happening, and I thought that would be really cute to put on the tag, or on the tab, I'm sorry, for the rainbow photo. The stamps are teeny tiny though, just itty bitty. So you definitely have to use a really good ink and be very careful not to press too hard. Otherwise you'll end up with a mushy mess. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the alphabet stickers over here to embellish this photo that's layered on top of the stamp. This font it's tall and narrow, and I find that it's hard to get it looking really good, so I'm not necessarily a huge fan of it. It's just hard to use, but I do really like the color. I think the color is very pretty. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove all these because I'm ready to, or the 2 pages, I'm sorry. I'm ready to start writing directly on the pages, and I'm going to first fix that alphabet sticker because it's driving me nuts. But now we're going to start writing the activities and the events that happened throughout the week. I'm going to use the Aloha Stir highlighter. I'm getting used to using them now. They're not as difficult as they were at first. There was kind of, I don't want to say a learning curve because that wasn't it. It was just getting used to how much longer the nib is. Now I was going to do this sideways on Monday. I thought that might be kind of cool, but then I decided that it may not really work. just wasn't entirely sure. So I decided not to go with that and just write it the plain old way. Now I love this pink marker anyway, just on its own, but then I love how this week is primarily pink and then there'll be a little bit of green as well at the end. Like obviously we already saw the green alphabet stickers, so the pink marker just absolutely worked perfectly. The other part that I like about it is that it's truly like a neutral pink. It's not neon-y, if you will. Like it's just a nice light pink color. Now the text that I'm writing, I'm not using the highlighter for. I am using a bullet point sticker, or I'm sorry, the clean color dot marker to create a bullet point just to make it stand out a little bit more. And I like that those are going next to each other. Now, my son's game was canceled, so I used a little canceled sticker on top of it. I wanted to notate that it was supposed to happen, but it didn't because of weather, and so, which is actually really funny because it hadn't rained in hours before my son's game, but got canceled nonetheless. So I like having the canceled things though, because I think it's kind of part of the story, if you will, and part of what I'm trying to capture. So I'm always very cognizant of making sure to include those. Now the bottom being the horizontal and a little bit different, this is actually really fun having a lot of activities to include down at the bottom in these different sections. It just really makes me think a little bit differently, and I really am enjoying it. And like I said at the beginning of the year, I wasn't sure if this was going to work out for me, but I'm really glad that I've been powering through because it was a little bit weird at first and it took me a couple weeks to get my groove. But now I'm really enjoying it. It definitely has my brain thinking in different ways, and I feel like that makes me a lot more creative. So now it's time to just go ahead and finish adding the activities for Sunday. I'm just going to write this one thing right there on Sunday because I want to leave a little bit of room for journaling next to that. And what's funny about that is that I have considered that I am absolutely under no circumstances a horizontal planner, so I could never horizontally plan. But getting a little bit used to these weeks, I feel like maybe I could. Now this sticker sheet has a handful of little tiny heart stickers, so I'm using those as the bullet points for the activities that I used with the highlighter, just to add a little bit, change things up a little bit, if you will. So now that's super cute, turned out very well, and I'm going to add a little bit of journaling. So I'll pull out the magnetic self-healing mat and go ahead and add my lines with my pen. Now, I might have used the highlighter because I really do like this color a lot, but there was quite a bit of it already, and I wanted the journaling to stand out, so it felt like I needed to just go ahead and add the black lines and use the pen without the highlighter. Now I'm going to add this big section where I'm sort of talking about the weather for the week, because now ordinarily I wouldn't do that because that's not really necessarily part of the story, except for in this case it really was part of the story because there was a lot of rain, so we had the rainbows, we had a canceled game, and that really is part of what was going on here this week, and that's what I'm trying to include here. Now, like I said, they were going to add a little bit down here at the bottom of Sunday, and I just need a few lines, like nothing too crazy, because I'm just going to talk about Sunday specifically, the photo, the one game, and then the rest of that day. So I just needed a few lines right there, and it just really works out beautifully in this horizontal way. And again, I never ever considered that I'd be able to do this, but it's interesting how after a few weeks of this, it really works out well. So now because that photo inside that little pocket slides out, I'm going to use a little bit of the washi tape that was included with the kit just to hopefully keep that photo from sliding out. The little notch shows a little bit of the background, so hopefully it won't slip out when I move it around a little bit. Now I'm just going to add a little arrow right here just to write the position that my son played, and then that's it for me for the week. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below, and I will do my best to get back to you. Thanks so much, and make it a great day.